The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. If you're in the market for a brand new or slightly used automobile, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your wallet to check out the good folks at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. They got a great sales department, great finance department, unbelievably good service department, and if you add all three of them up, it means you need to get yourself over to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown before you put pen to paper and sign 4 to 7 years of your life away with car payments. Do that. Just do it for your own conscience and your own good financial well-being. Make a trip to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown before you make the commitment to purchase a new or used automobile. All right, we're with you till 3 o'clock. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline is open for business. It's open line Friday, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Some good news sprinkled in with some bad news, and I always like getting rid of the bad news first, and then you can have nothing but good news. So here it is. One day can change an awful lot of things. Youngstown State yesterday came into the Horizon League tournament as the 3 seed, came into this tournament thinking, well, listen, we're going to be around on Friday. We should probably be in the winner's bracket taking on Wright State on Friday. Nope. Youngstown State is home. They got beat by UIC, and then they lost in the elimination game to Milwaukee. And look, the sudden exit of this team is in no way, shape, or form going to spoil what was a good season. It was a good year for Youngstown State. Hell, they won 24 league games. They finished with a 32-24 record. When's the last time Youngstown State won 30 games in a baseball season? When's the last time Youngstown State won 24 league games? But I'll admit, this one sucks. This one really, really hurts. It does. It's not gonna erase the good accomplishments and the very well played baseball through the entire year for this team. But man, when you get eliminated on the very first day, that's tough. That's really, really tough. And I've been preaching for weeks and weeks and weeks. You got to throw your ace in the first round of a game, and a double elimination. Your number 2 has better numbers against UIC. Okay, it didn't work out. It didn't work out, and one of these 4 teams was going to have the nightmare scenario where they just weren't going to be able to get out of Thursday. And I thought it was going to be Milwaukee. I really thought, okay, look, Milwaukee loses to Wright State. They're not gonna beat UIC or YSU. And then I thought about it. For two things. Number one, and I think Anthony brought this up for Friday, but I think it's true in any sense in a double elimination tournament. It is so difficult to play a second game after losing the first game, and you're playing it immediately. It's pretty difficult to do that. And I thought whoever lost the UIC-YSU game, because that game started at 3 o'clock, and then the losers bracket game started at 7 o'clock, there wasn't much turnaround time. And I thought, okay, I still think Milwaukee loses the elimination game, but it's going to be tough, especially if you lose in a heartbreaking fashion or you just don't have your stuff together. There's some bitterness from that game that you don't have a whole lot of time to get rid of before the next game. And that is so big in a double elimination tournament. If you're playing back-to-back and you just lost your first game, oh my goodness, is that tough to do? Because you still are thinking about that first game. Whether or not guys want to admit that, bottom line is they're thinking about that. They're lying to themselves if they're not. They're thinking about it. It is so difficult to come back and play a second game after you've lost the first game, especially if you lost the first game in heartbreaking fashion or you just didn't play a very good game and you're pissed off that you didn't play a very good game. It's unfortunate. The second thing is, Youngstown State hasn't won down in Dayton in a month of Sundays. They lost 4 straight to Wright State earlier in the season, and they lost 2 in a row in this tournament. Next year, I don't want this damn tournament at Wright State. I think for the remaining guys on this baseball team, and trust me when I tell you, this team ain't going away anytime soon. Yes, they lose some really, really good seniors. They lose some damn good seniors. But there is plenty of talent in that cupboard for this team to be right back into the tournament next year. Here's the goal. You don't want that tournament in Dayton next year. You want that tournament at Eastwood Field. You want that tournament in the Mahoning Valley. So hopefully next year, and I truly believe Youngstown State will have another bang-up year, and hopefully it's even better than this year. The sting is going to be there for a while, and for the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors and kids that are returning from this program, I hope you feel it. I hope you feel this sting the entire offseason, because that means that you got fire in your belly and you are ready to perform in 2022. For the seniors, it sucks. It really does. Now, the good news, as a fan of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Colin Floyd gets to be a member of the Scrappers pretty quickly, and hopefully he'll have a bang-up year with the Scrappers and improve his draft stock and become a really high draft pick in July when Major League Baseball does the MLB draft during the All-Star game. And it would appear Drake Batcho is going to be coming to Youngstown as well, because Cincinnati got eliminated from the tournament yesterday or a couple of days ago. So Drake Batcho should be coming in and donning a Scrappers uniform as well, and we'll see what happens there. For the seniors, it's a terrible way to go. But you just can't dwell on what happened in one day and let that consume you and forget about what you accomplished. 24 conference wins, 32 regular season wins. Those are pretty good numbers for Youngstown State. And hopefully that's the start of something really, really special at YSU next baseball season and for the baseball seasons beyond. Tough way to end the season, but I'm not going to let it ruin what Youngstown State did this year, because they did an awful lot of good things. But damn, it doesn't sit well for me to lose 2 games in a row. 2 games that neither one of those games should have been lost. It doesn't sit well. And hopefully that will fuel a lot of rage to the point where we're ready to change the culture of the tournament next year, ready to put it in Youngstown, ready to put it back home. And the only way you get this tournament back home next year is if you win the league. So go out and get it done. Hopefully they will. All right, so a great year for YSU. Unfortunately, yesterday, and it's baseball. The game is designed to break your heart. It just is. And at the end of the day, they picked a really bad time to play 2 games that, they weren't on their A game, and they picked a bad time to do it. But it's certainly not going to damper what was a really good year. Hopefully, it just provides an awful lot of fuel and an awful lot of pent-up rage for these kids so they can take it out on some folks in 2022. All right, good year for Youngstown State with the baseball team, and we'll see what transpires in 2022. Penguins finished 32-24, 24-16 in the Horizon League, and a solid year for YSU. Okay, let's get to the good things, because there were plenty of good things to talk about. Number 1, South Range is in the regionals in Division 3. They get it done. They beat Rootstown 5-1. Brandon Mikos pitching a complete game. He allowed 1 run, as South Range will go to the regional tournaments next week. And, the regional tournaments are going to be all kinds of fun. You got Canton Central Catholic in the region. Now, they're not going to be playing a local team, unfortunately, and that's because Cardinal Mooney was beaten by Burton Berkshire. Mooney had plenty of opportunities. They had a run around the doorstep in multiple innings and just could not get that run in. And, how many times have we sat back and said it is all about, in playoff baseball, is all about pitching, defense, and timely hitting. And you got to have all 3. And you also have to have some luck along the way in order to get a state championship. Well, Mooney just they didn't get timely hitting yesterday, and unfortunately it cost them as Burton Berkshire knocked off Mooney 1-0. So coming up on Thursday at 2:00, it'll be a out-of-town regional matchup between Burton Berkshire and Canton Central Catholic. And then at 5:00, South Range will be taking on Gates Mills Gilmore Academy. This is a good region. This is a really, really good region. 4 very strong teams, 4 different teams. And it'll be fun to see who comes out of this. Defiance, by the way, is now Division 3, and they're in the regional semifinals in Region 10. Defiance, Shelby, Baltimore Liberty Union, and Elida, are in the regionals in Region 10. In Region 11, it's Minford, Wheelersburg, Barnesville, and Fredericktown. And then in Region 12, down in the Cincinnati area, Springfield Shawnee, Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, Cincinnati Archbishop McNichols, and Cincinnati Country Day. So the Cincinnati region alive and well with some good programs in Region 12, and the Region 11 program with Wheelersburg. They're a solid baseball team, and Defiance dropping from D2 to D3. Look, Defiance year in, year out has been a solid baseball program. And then Region 9, the local team would be South Range. They'll get their hands full immediately Look, this good region. This is a solid region. You got Gates Mills, Gilmore Academy, and then you have on the other side of the region bracket, Canton Central Catholic, which has been a pain in the backside for South Range Athletics for I don't even know how long. And they got Burton Berkshire, who proved without a shadow of a doubt, not only do they have an ace, they got a pretty good number 2 as well, as they threw 2 shutouts in the district tournaments. So, this is going to be an interesting region to be sure. South Range taking on Gates Mills Gilmore Academy on Thursday at 5 o'clock. If they happen to win that game, it'll be a short turnaround. Friday at 5 o'clock will be the regional championship game, and that regional tournament is going to be held at Massillon Washington High School. So Massillon Washington High School is the regional site for Division III, and we certainly wish South Range the best as they take on Gates Mills Gilmore Academy in the first game, or I should say in the second game. And the first game will be a barn burner for sure. Burton Berkshire against Canton Central Catholic. So congratulations to Cardinal Mooney on a great season. Unfortunately, they do not get into the regionals. They lose by the score of 1-0. They had plenty of opportunities, a runner at third base 4 times, and just couldn't get the timely hit. And that's what this game is all about. Got to get a timely hit, and they could not do that. So a really good region in Division III for sure. Division II, oh man, what a region this is going to be in Canton. As we get the wish. A lot of folks were wondering, hey. Can we get a Salem-Canfield matchup? Mission accomplished. You're going to get a Salem-Canfield matchup. Salem and Canfield, they will be playing this game, and they will be playing it from Canton Glen Oak High School, as Salem will be playing the Canfield Cardinals, and I'm trying really hard to get my smartphone to operate here. All right, Thursday, June the 3rd at 2 o'clock, Salem will be taking on Canfield in the first regional game. Second regional game should be outstanding as well. Akron-Hoban will be taking on Chagrin Falls. We made mention about Chagrin Falls being a really, really good team. Listen, this region is absolutely stacked floor to ceiling with some damn good baseball teams. I'm going to make a prediction right here, right now. Whoever gets out of this region wins the state championship in Division II. Firm believer. Whoever gets out of this region is going to win a state championship. And you can make a case for any of these 4 teams. Canfield and Salem is going to be an unbelievably good baseball game. These 2 teams met in the first game of the season. Rhodes was pitching for Salem. They took him out of the game. They wanted to save him for the first league game. When he left the game, I think it was 5 innings. He only gave up 1 hit. It was 0-0 when Rhodes was taken out of the ball game. So there's not going to be a situation where this kid's going to get taken out of the game unless he throws the maximum number of pitches, 125. That's probably the only way he gets taken out of the game, unless he's ineffective. Barring ineffectiveness, only way this kid's getting taken out of the game, barring ineffectiveness and injury, and we certainly hope for nothing like that, the only way he gets taken out of the game is if he gets taken out of the game due to the 125 pitch count. This is going to be a great game. If both of these programs are on their A game, 7 innings might not even be enough to decide it. That's how good this game can be. And the other game is the same way. Look, as much as I love Chagrin Falls, and I've heard nothing but good things about that program, I know damn well Akron-Hoban has the athletes. Akron-Hoban This isn't by design. Akron-Hoban is a really good program. And I'll say it again. Whoever comes out of this region is winning a state championship. I defy anyone to give me a better region in the state of Ohio in Division II, and I'll run through the teams that are in the other three regions. Region 7, it'll be Carroll Bloom Carroll against Cambridge, Hillsborough against St. Clairsville. In Region 8, it'll be Dayton Carroll against Marengo Highland, Hamilton Baden against Cincinnati, Wyoming. That's a pretty solid region as well, filled with names that, frankly, they certainly have some good pedigree there. Region 6, Chagrin Falls. I'm sorry, Region 6 is Oberlin Firelands against Archbold and Bluffton against Fremont. That's in the northwestern part of the state. The northwestern part of the state. Oberlin Firelands against Archbold. Thursday at 5 o'clock. Bluffton against Fremont. Thursday at 2 o'clock. One would assume Region 5 would be playing Region 6 in the state tournament. If that were the case, I think you would probably have Region 5 playing Region 6. And I'm gonna quickly verify this, and it would be. Region 5 would play Region 6 in the state semifinals, and that would be on Thursday, June the 10th at 7 p.m., and that would be at Rubber Ducks Park, Rubber Duck Stadium, or Canal Stadium, I'm sorry. Canal Stadium, the home of the Akron Rubber Ducks, that gorgeous facility, the AA affiliate of the Cleveland Indians. That's where that game would be played 1 week from Thursday at 7 p.m. The winner of Region 6, or I'm sorry, the winner of Region 5 would play the winner of Region 6. So that's the schedule for next week with Division 2. So you'll have South Range in Division 3 taking on Gates Mills Gilmore Academy Thursday at 5 o'clock. You'll have Salem and Canfield, an all-local regional semifinal matchup at 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Let's skip down to Division 4 because Division 1 does not have any district champions. Division 4, congratulations to Warren JFK. Congratulations to the Matthews Mustangs. Warren JFK knocked off Heartland Christian. A little disappointing in the final score. It was scoreless through 3 innings, and then Warren JFK put the pedal to the metal, and they wound up getting 10 runs over the next couple of innings, and they get a mercy rule contest, 10-0, over the Heartland Christian team. And I thought it was going to be a little bit better. You know, unfortunately for Heartland Christian, again, you certainly cannot step on a successful season and think that season just went up in smoke because of one bad game. The fact that Heartland Christian got to a district championship game speaks volumes for the potential success of that program. They're just going to have to replace some pretty good players. But listen, Warren JFK, I think I saw this, and Dana Balish tweeted this out. I certainly want to give him all kinds of credit for tweeting this out. Warren JFK played in a football state championship this year. The boys basketball team won a district championship, and now the baseball team has won a district championship. What a banner year for boys sports, the main 3 sports. And again, no disrespect to wrestling, track and field, or cross country or golf. They're not the big 3 of football, basketball, and baseball. And one can argue that Warren JFK has had the single best year this year of all of the schools in our YSN family in the Big Three. Again, JFK going to a state championship game in football. The boys basketball team went to a regional tournament, and now the boys baseball team is going to go to a regional tournament. That is an amazing, amazing year for Warren JFK. And for JFK, they will go in to the regional tournaments as they will represent the Struthers District and go to the regional tournaments. And the D4 regional tournaments are going to be held in Strongsville over at Strongsville High School, and that's a fantastic facility on the west side of Cleveland. And here's your schedule. At 1:30, you guessed it, on Thursday. My goodness. All of our baseball games are going to be on Thursday. Good Lord. Thursday at 1:30, you got JFK taking on Columbia Station, Columbia. That'll be at 1:30 on Thursday afternoon at Strongsville High School on the west side of Cleveland. And then in the 4:30 game, it'll be Matthews, who knocked off Western Reserve. Matthews will be taking on Clyde, and that game will start at 4:30. And by the way, congratulations to Matthews. The girls get to the regional softball tournaments. The guys are going into the regional baseball tournaments. Fantastic year for Matthews with the baseball and the softball team each going to the regional tournaments. That's just an outstanding year for the Mustangs. The Mustangs in the regional championship game, as a matter of fact, in softball, and we'll see what they can do. And we'll see if the Matthews Mustangs guys can do the same thing, knock off Clyde and get into a regional championship game. And how cool would it be to see two teams from Trumbull County meet up in a regional championship game? And I hate to beat a dead horse, but here we go. This is the reason why the Super Size Me tournaments in district play work. This is the reason why I love the Super Size Me district tournaments, because you have two dominant teams up in Trumbull County. If you didn't have the Super Size Me tournament, these two teams would be playing each other for a district championship. And that's not a bad thing. Look, that's not a bad thing. District championships are wonderful. I mean, it should be the goal of every team to at least get themselves into a district championship, if not win one. I've said this for, the 2 years I've been on the air. I've said this a number of times. The alma mater, Litonia High School, has never won a boys district championship. They've played in one district championship game. That's 80 years worth of basketball. One district championship game. Crazy. So there's nothing wrong with playing for a district championship game. But the beautiful thing about the Super Size Me tournaments, you can have two local teams go to two completely different districts and win their districts and then not see each other until the regional finals. We're going to see that tomorrow, weather permitting. More on that in a little bit. And next week, we could very well see it in Division 4. JFK taking on Columbia Station. That'll be at 1:30 on Thursday, June the 3rd. And then at 4:30, Matthews will play Clyde. The winner of those two games will see each other on Friday, June the 4th at 5 o'clock. The winner of Region 13 is going to play the winner of Region 16. Region 16 looks like this. Russia. Yet! How is these comrades over in the tournament? Yet! Russia will be taking on Lancaster Fisher Catholic. I wonder how many people really get on anyone who goes to a Russia high school. I mean, the student section's chants, they just write themselves. Go home, commie! Russia taking on Lancaster Fisher Catholic. That game will be at 5 o'clock on Thursday, June the 3rd, and the game preceding it is Fort Laramie, excuse me. That's the school out of that conference that nobody likes around here. The school, the conference that also has Minster and who else is in that? Well, you know the group out there, the MAC, the Midwest Athletic Conference. Oh, Lord, that's a good conference. Anyway, Fort Laramie is in the regional semifinals, and they will play Cedarville, and that game is going to be at 2 o'clock. The winner of the Fort Laramie-Cedarville game gets the winner of the Russia-Lancaster Fisher Catholic game on Friday at 5 o'clock. Why do I bring that up? Well, the winner of Region 16 gets the winner of Region 13 in the state semifinals. State semifinals will be played on Friday, June the 11th at 1 in the afternoon. So we're hoping, obviously, since JFK is a YSN school, we're hoping that JFK can get themselves into the state semifinals. By the way, the other two regions look like this. Region 15, it'll be Lucasville Valley against Bainbridge Paint Valley in the top bracket. Here's a name that I think everyone knows from basketball, but very much an underappreciated baseball program. Maybe not as consistently great as their basketball program, but this team's baseball program, it's pretty special, and that's Berlin Highland. Berlin Highland gets Howard East Knox. That's in the other Region 15 semifinal. Region 14 looks like this. Galleon will play Hamler in the upper bracket. In the bottom bracket, Bryan will be facing another team from the Midwest Athletic Conference, and that would be Coldwater. So there are two teams from the Midwest Athletic Conference that are in the regional tournaments, and interestingly enough, they're in opposite brackets in terms of the state semifinals. So let's say Coldwater were to win Region 14, they would play the winner of Region 13. Berlin Highland is the name. So it would be those two teams if they were to both win their regions. And then let's say JFK wins Region 13. They would take on the winner of Region 16. Let's say it's Fort Laramie. You could be looking at a possible all-Midwest Athletic Conference state championship game, or you could be looking at a possible matchup between Warren JFK and Coldwater. Either way, sign me up. I mean, especially sign me up if JFK can get to a state championship. But again, you got to win 3 games yet in order to get to the state championship game. And the road to the state tournament begins for Warren JFK on Thursday, June the 3rd at 1:30 when they take on Columbia Station. And then they'll get the winner of Clyde and Matthews. And here's hoping for an all-local Division IV regional championship. That would be outstanding. Yes, I understand Matthews isn't part of the YSN family, but they're local. They're up in Trumbull County, Trumbull, Mahoning, Columbiana counties. It's alive and well. We're sending a lot of teams, softball and baseball. The programs, we send an awful lot of programs into the regionals, and since 2013, we've had more representation in the state tournaments in baseball than any other boys sport, or the big three of football, basketball, and baseball. Baseball has had more representation in the state semifinals since 2006 or 2013 than any other big three sport. So that's pretty impressive. And what we've done with softball has been nothing short of spectacular as well. All right, so that's what's going on in baseball. Again, congratulations, Warren JFK and Matthews. They will be heading to the Division 4 regional tournaments. Congratulations to South Range. They're headed to the Division 3 tournament. Congratulations to Canfield and Salem. They're both headed to the Division 2 regional tournaments. 4 YSN teams, 5 teams in the 3-county area, alive and well as we go to the Sweet 16 in high school baseball starting next week. All right, we're going to take a time out. On the other side, I made mention of this, about a week or so ago. We were clamoring for an all-local regional championship game. It came to fruition yesterday. We'll tell you what I'm talking about after this timeout, and we'll also get some good news out of Fort Worth, Texas, where Jason Kokrak is shooting round 2 of the Charles Schwab Challenge. We'll get to that and take some phone calls as well on this Friday edition of Running Point, presented by MP Vivo, or presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Got ahead of myself. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. Back in a bit. Stick around.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Jason Kokrak is leading the Charles Schwab Challenge at the Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth. He's about 3 holes away from ending the second round. He's 4 under on the day, 9 under for the tournament. He has a 1-shot lead on Sergio Garcia and a 2-shot lead on Jordan Spieth and Mark McNeely. Now, McNeely's already in the clubhouse. Spieth has not started his round yet. So this might be a very short-lived lead for Jason Kokrak because, well, Spieth, you know, if he shoots 2 under, assuming Kokrak finishes at 9 under, all Spieth would have to do is shoot a 2 under par, 68. I believe the par is 70. Yeah, 2 under par 68 would put Spieth and Kokrak in a tie for first place. That's assuming that Jason is ending his round at 9 under par. I can tell you right now that Jason Kokrak on this day, 5 birdies, 1 bogey, and he is currently on the 16th hole. He played the back 9 first, so he's actually on the 7th hole, but for today it's the 16th hole because he played the back 9 first. He is about 165 yards away, getting set to shoot his second shot on the par 4, 423-yard 7th hole, which for today, because Kokrak played the back 9 first, that is the 16th hole. But Kokrak right now is 1 shot better than Sergio Garcia. Garcia is 1 under for the day, 8 under for the tournament, and he is currently, much like Jason, he shot the back 9 first. Sergio is going to be on the 15th hole, which is the 6th hole, so he's 1 hole behind Jason as Sergio is trying to chase down Jason Kokrak. Jordan Spieth is not going to be golfing until a little after 2 o'clock our time, approximately 1:06 local time, which will be 2:06 out here in Ohio. Texas is in the central time zone. So we'll keep an eye on Jason Kokrak. Again, Jason Kokrak having himself quite a tournament to this point as we knock on wood. All right, we made mention of this last week and a couple of weeks ago, actually, when the tournament started. And we noticed, Anthony Hartwig and I noticed, hey, Ursuline's on one side of the bracket. South Range is on the other side of the Super Size Me district bracket. They're going to be playing in opposite directions. And if they happen to win the district, well, they're not going to play each other in the regional semifinals. They would play another team in the regional semis. Man, wouldn't it be great if these two teams met up in the regional championship game? Well, mission accomplished. Ursuline polished off Brookside pretty quickly. Now, they did play 7 innings, but Ursuline scored in every single inning with the exception of the 4th inning as they pick up a convincing 15-0 victory over Sheffield Brookside in the regional semifinals. Ursuline banged out 20 hits. Emily Holland picked up the victory, 5 strikeouts, no walks. She also contributed with 3 hits in the ball game. Nutter and Ogden left the yard. Ogden drove in 4. Nutter drove in 2. It was just a beatdown. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 4 more in the 5th inning, 3 more in the 6th inning. Now, that doesn't even make sense. No, that couldn't have been. That would have been 3-1-1-0-4. That's 9 and 15. All right, so the 3 runs in the 6th inning didn't happen. So all but 2 innings, Ursuline scored, the 4th inning and the 6th inning, as they knock off Brookside 15-0. It was 9-0 going into the 7th inning. Ursuline scored 6 times to make it 15-0. Opposing the Ursuline Irish will be the South Range Raiders. South Range shut out Tulsa 3-0. Bree Kohler, 13 punch-outs. She also homered and drove in the only 2 runs of the ball game, and I think it was a 2-run dinger in the bottom half of inning number 3. So we asked for it, and we're going to get it on Saturday afternoon at 12 noon, and I just hope that the weather cooperates. Knock on wood. You hope the weather cooperates as Ursuline will be taking on South Range. That game from Farmers National Bank Field on the campus of Youngstown State University. That game will get underway at 12 noon. And again, weather permitting, the weather forecast is not looking all that great for the weekend, except for Sunday. Today and tomorrow, the weather's not looking very spectacular. And we'll see what happens. But again, Youngstown State will be hosting the regional championship game, and it will be the Ursuline Irish taking on the South Range Raiders. And that game will be played on Saturday afternoon at 12 noon, weather permitting. So congratulations to the South Range Raiders and to the Ursuline Irish as they are headed to the regional championship game. All right, also headed to the regional championship game in Region 12, in which Ursuline and South Range, the winner, is going to be facing the winner of Region 12. Region 12 has Johnstown taking on Williamsburg in the regional championship game. Johnstown knocked off Carlisle 11-3. Williamsburg defeated Georgetown 12-1. So the winner of South Range and Ursuline gets the winner of Johnstown and Williamsburg. In the bottom half of the bracket, there is a familiar foe. Year in, year out, they're special. But they're not in Region 10. The Region 10 championship game is Cardington-Lincoln against Sherwood-Fairview. Cardington-Lincoln shut out Milan Edison, or Milan Edison. I don't even know how they pronounce it. Probably Milan. 4-0. And the Sherwood-Fairview team knocked off Tuntogany Otsego 9-0. So it's Sherwood Fairview against Cardigan Lincoln for the Region 10 championship. And in the bottom half of that region, there's that team, Wheelersburg. This is a Wheelersburg team that beat South Range for a state championship. The next year, Wheelersburg looking to defend their state championship. They lost a champion. Wheelersburg gets to the regional championship game in Region 11 by defeating Zorville-Tusky Valley 13-6. It will be Wheelersburg against Ironton. Ironton shut out Williamsport Westfall 2-0. So those are the teams that are left. The final 8 in Division II softball. Wheelersburg will play Ironton, and that'll be tomorrow at 12 noon. All of the regional championship games are going to be played at 12 noon. Johnstown against Williamsburg. The winner of that game gets the winner of Ursuline and South Range. Down in the bottom bracket, Cardington-Lincoln plays Sherwood-Fairview at noon. The winner of that game gets Wheelersburg and Ironton. By the way, in the state semifinals, will begin on Thursday at 10 a.m. The winner of the Ursuline South Range game will play the winner of Johnstown and Williamsburg. That'll be on Thursday morning, June the 4th at 10 a.m. Boy, Thursday is going to be a really busy day for the YSN family. You got a softball game at 10. You got 2 baseball games, actually 3 baseball games. No, 2. 2 baseball games later in the day. Woof, going to be busy. The 12:30 game will be Thursday at 12:30. The winner of Cardington-Lincoln, Sherwood-Fairview plays the winner of Wheelersburg and Ironton Thursday at 12:30. And then the state championship game is set for Friday afternoon. 1 week from today, the state championship game will be played at Firestone Stadium in Akron 1 week from today at 4 o'clock. So there you go with Division 3, as South Range will play Ursuline for a regional championship and an opportunity to go to Firestone Stadium in Akron for a state semifinal appearance. Meanwhile, in the Division 4 region, Division 4, we got a regional championship appearance for the Mustangs of Matthews. Matthews knocking off East Canton 3-1 yesterday behind some really good pitching by Becca Landis. 11 punch-outs, 1 walk. 7 hits for the Matthews Mustangs, 4 hits for East Canton. Matthews did commit 2 errors along with a 1 walk, so that's an extra inning of base runners, which you kind of want to cut that down, especially if you're going to be playing Cuyahoga Heights. Cuyahoga Heights knocked off New Philadelphia Tusky Central Catholic 9-3, so Matthews will be taking on Cuyahoga Heights tomorrow, and that's going to be at Firestone Stadium at 10 a.m. Now, we made mention of this. Matthews will be playing their 2nd straight game at Firestone Stadium, and so will Cuyahoga Heights. You got to believe whoever comes out of this region is going to have I don't know if it's a huge advantage, but I would think that it would be a substantial advantage considering the fact they've already played 2 games at Firestone Stadium, and they've gotten accustomed, at least a little bit, to how the ballpark plays. The Region 13 champs are going to be playing the Region 15 champs in the state semifinals. In the regional championship game in Region 15, Newark Catholic, who outslugged Danville 11-10, will be taking on Peebles. Not to be confused with Pebbles, Fred Flintstone's kid. Peebles knocked off Portsmouth Notre Dame 10-9, so a couple of teams that can swing it will be playing each other tomorrow at high noon. Newark Catholic against Peebles, and the winner of that game will take on the winner of the Matthews-Cuyahoga Heights game in the state semifinals. That game will be played on Wednesday at 5:30. Wednesday, June the 3rd at 5:30. That state semifinal game would be played, and then the state championship game in Division 4 will be played on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at this again. Yeah, it's going to be on Friday at 1 o'clock. Friday at 1 o'clock, the state championship game will be played. By the way, in the other region, the other two regions up top, Region 16, Mechanicsburg is going to be playing Bradford for a region championship. And in Region 14, New Regal will be playing West Unity Hilltop. And I'm almost positive that New Regal is in the Midwest Athletic Conference as well. I'm pretty sure they are. I'll have to take a look at that when we go to break, but I'm pretty sure New Regal is in the Midwest Athletic Conference. That's ridiculously talented conference in the western part of the state. Anyway, New Regal will play West Unity Hilltop for a regional championship at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Mechanicsburg will play Bradford. Again, Mother Nature may or may not cooperate. We'll see what happens. So that's what's going on in softball. Again, we have three local teams, let's back up a second. 3 local teams, 2 YSN teams, and one team that is local but not in the YSN family. We are guaranteed to have one team from this area go to the state semifinals, and we're guaranteed of this because of the fact that you're going to get an all-local regional championship game between Ursuline and South Range, and this should be a good one. This should be an entertaining game. Bree Kohler has been nothing short of spectacular all year long, but Ursuline has been nothing short of spectacular in their own right, and I'll be real curious to see who comes out of this game. 2 very worthy adversaries, 27-2 Ursuline, 27-3 South Range. The winner goes to the state semifinals. And as both teams are members of the YSN family, doesn't get better than this. You get an opportunity to have some fun with this, much like next week, where you are going to have all kinds of fun with the. And we completely forgot about West Branch playing Worcester Triway in Division 2. I got to back up a second. My apologies, sincere apologies to West Branch. My goodness, Ron, get your head out of your backside. West Branch taking on Worcester Triway tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Here's the thing. We don't even have the 2 teams that are playing for a regional championship yet in Region 8. I don't know what the heck is going on here, but the 2 teams, or the 4 teams that were supposed to be, the 2 games that were supposed to be playing in the regional semifinals never got a final score. Springfield Shawnee against Greenville and New Richmond against Hebron Lakewood. Never got a final score from any of those 2 games, so we don't even know who's in the regional championship game. That is the region that is going to be opposing the winner of West Branch and Worcester Triway for a trip to the state semifinals. So with all apologies to West Branch, who mercy ruled Richfield Revere 12-2 in 6 innings, they will take on Worcester Triway, who knocked off Marlington 10-7. We'll see if West Branch can get it done. So there are 3 YSN teams and 4 local teams left in the softball tournament. And West Branch is one win away from a state tournament. If West Branch can beat Worcester Triway, then we would get at least 2 teams into the state semifinals. If it's a perfect weekend, we would get 3 teams into the state semifinals. West Branch in Division 2, the winner of Ursuline and South Range in Division 3, and Matthews in Division 4. And what a great weekend that would be if this could happen. That would be just a tremendous statement for the Mahoning Valley if we could get a regional champion in D2, D3, and D4. We're definitely going to get a regional champion in D3 because there's 2 local teams. And we go back to how great it is to have that Super Size Me district where possibilities like this can happen. So softball alive and well, 4 teams left, all 4 teams in a regional championship game. As for baseball, again, we got Matthews in Division 4, Kennedy in Division 4, and they could be seeing each other in a regional championship game. We have South Range in Division 3. And we have Canfield and Salem doing battle in a regional semifinal game in Division 2. So 5 baseball teams are left. We're guaranteed 1 team going into the regional championship, and hopefully we'll get more, and we'll see what happens. All right, 330-886-0813. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. It is a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
This is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your pre-owned vehicle and much more. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their pre-owned vehicle at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
60 years ago, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods began with 3 siblings, a hand-set sawmill, and a few local orders. And while business has certainly changed over the years, what has not are our principles of hard work, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. At Baird Brothers, we're proud to put our name on the products we create, from moldings and doors to flooring and lumber. Thank you for 60 great years. We look forward to 60 more. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Tri-State Ford announces our 96-hour Memorial Day sales event. 4 days of huge savings on every vehicle. Get top dollar for your trade or sell us yours. Attention, current lessees of all makes and models. Turn in your lease early and get up to $2,500 trade equity. Plus, our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Don't miss this event.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Some more athletes punching their ticket into the state track and field competition next weekend down in Columbus. Congratulations to Jax Booth from Salem as he finished in 3rd in the D2 regional long jump at Fitch. Jax Booth jumped 21 feet 9 1/4 inches as he finishes in 3rd place. Top 4 finishers go to the state. Also, Dominic Melito from Girard, he got 4th place in the long jump, 21 feet 5 1/2 inches. So Dom Melito from Girard, Jax Booth from Salem, they will be in the long jump in the D2 state championships down in Columbus next weekend. Also, congratulations to Elizabeth Shantz, the D2 regionals at Austintown Fitch. Elizabeth Shantz threw the shot put at 37 feet 1 1/2 inches. She is headed to Columbus. Also headed to Columbus is Kyla Jameson from Salem, who threw the shot put 36 feet 6 3/4 inches. She finishes in 3rd place. In the high jump, Maya Melito from Girard jumped 5 feet 2 inches. She is headed to Columbus. Now, I'm a little confused about something, and I don't necessarily want to make this as an editorial comment, but this is absolutely ridiculous and borderline criminal that the Crestview girls are not playing their regional track and field events at Fitch. For some bizarre reason, Crestview got sent to Lexington. Now, Salem, which is in the same county as Crestview, they went to Fitch. Crestview goes to Lexington. I don't even want to think about understanding this, but I feel bad for Krista Perry because Krista Perry threw the shot put 38 feet 5 3/4 inches, which would have given her a 2nd place finish in the Division II regionals at Fitch, but in Lexington it gave her an 8th place finish. So she isn't going to the state, even though she threw the shot put a 1.5 feet further than Elizabeth Shantz from Salem and about 2 feet further than Kyla Jameson from Salem, but Crestview's not in the D2 regionals at Austintown Fitch, which is, about a half an hour drive, if that. Instead, they got to ship themselves to Lexington. The OHSAA is borderline stupid when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, Krista Perry finishes in 8th place. Crestview, the 4x800 relay team, finishing in 14th place. So the Krista Perry and the 4x800 meter relay teams will not be advancing to the state tournament. And I'm still scratching my head how Crestview can be sent to a completely different area code when they're a whole lot closer to Austintown Fitch. That one blows my mind. But there's your athletes right now that are headed to Columbus. So congratulations again to Elizabeth Shantz and teammate Kyla Jamieson from Salem. They are both headed to the state tournament, throwing the shot put, finishing in second and third respectively over in the Division II regionals at Austintown Fitch. And again, congratulations to Jax Booth from Salem, Dominic Melito from Girard. They are headed to the state tournament in the long jump. Get back to the girls again. I'm sorry. Maya Melito from Girard with a high jump of 5 feet 2 inches. She is headed to Columbus next week. So the athletes headed to Columbus continuing to accumulate year in, year out. Well, I'll tell you what, the trip to Columbus and the amount of athletes that we get in track and field is absolutely astounding. The number of athletes that we wind up getting to Columbus is just absolutely astounding. The track and field continues today. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Your field events in the D1 regional at Fitch start at 4:30. The running events start at 5:30. Division III regional at Maslin Perry. This is the final day. The field events begin at 4:30. The running events begin at 6 o'clock. And on Saturday, the D2 regional at Fitch, the final day of that. Field events begin at 11 a.m. The running events begin at 12 noon. So best of luck to our area athletes in track and field. Hopefully we will see a ton of kids getting into Columbus. By the way, the track and field championships will not be held at Jesse Owens Stadium, where the track and field championships are normally held. They're going to be held in Columbus, but in a high school facility. So unfortunately, the athletes will not get an opportunity to step foot at Jesse Owens Stadium, where the track and field championships are normally taking place. And speaking of which, I woke up today. One of the cool things about the social media, Facebook, is you get some memories. If you posted some things, Facebook allows you to go back to that day and go back in time to see what was posted. And it dawns on me that today is the 37th anniversary of Litonia's last state championship. The 1984 boys track and field team won a state championship. And it was interesting. I was down in Columbus. I saw that. Arnold and Curtis Brooks was their moment, and boy, oh boy, not just their moment, but all kinds of great moments that occurred. Arnold and Kurt went 1-3 in the 100 and 200 meter dash. The 400 meter relay team finished in second, and the 1600 meter relay team finished in third. The Bears had 46 points in the state championship back in 1984, 10 points better than the Cincinnati Academy of Physical Education. This was Carlos Snow. If Buckeye fans will remember that name, Carlos Snow, future Buckeye running back. I believe he was either a freshman or a sophomore. And Arnold Brooks smoked him in the 100-meter dash as well as the 200. He smoked him. And it was really cool. And it capped off a 3-year period. My senior year in high school, the Bears finished third in the Class A state championship track meet. And then in 1983, they finished second. And in 1984, that would have been Arnold Brooks' senior year, they finished as state champions. It was It was bedlam in the village. Everyone had some fun, had a parade when the kids arrived back at home. They all rode the fire truck, and they had a makeshift parade from the fire station all the way up to the old high school, and it was cool. It was really cool, and it is really cool to see a small town win a state championship. And for those that have experienced it in some of the bigger sports, you see the pride, you see the just the amount of respect and the pride that the village has, and it was really cool to see that. It was the last time Litonia won a state championship in anything, and it was a really cool moment. So that happened 37 years ago today, down in Columbus at Jesse Owens Stadium. They were able to get the victory and win a state championship, and it capped off a pretty cool 3-year career. Actually, a 4-year career for Arnold Brooks, and then his brother Curtis graduated in '85, and both of them, man, they were unbelievable. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. Tell you what else is unbelievable. Jason Kokrak, he has a 2-shot lead in the Charles Schwab Challenge. Kokrak is now 5 under for the day, 10 under for this tournament, and he is about to bogey the final hole. I'm pretty sure he's going to bogey this, and he may double bogey it. Who knows? But right now he is at 10 under. We'll see how he finishes. But Kokrak at one point had a 3-shot lead at one point. Munoz and McNeely and Garcia were at 7 under. Munoz got a birdie on the last hole to go to 8 under. He's in second place all by his lonesome. And again, Kokrak may very well find himself in a tie for first place before this is all said and done, as Jason is staring at a sizable putt for par. I believe it is a 36.5-foot shot for par. One would expect him to at least bogey, which would drop him down to 9. But instead, he drains it from 36 feet out. Good God. This is absolutely insane. All right, so Kokrak winds up shooting 5 under for the day. He drains a 36-foot shot for par, and he gets into the clubhouse at 10 under par. He is 2 shots better than Munoz. Now, again, Jordan Spieth is yet to golf. He is yet to tee off. He'll be teeing off in about 40 minutes, actually 50 minutes. He'll be teeing off. But what a day for Jason Kokrak. He goes 5 under in day 1, 5 under in day 2, and he has a 2-shot lead currently in the second round of the Charles Schwab Challenge from Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth, Texas, as Kokrak is at 10 under. I want to keep this in mind, and I certainly would never think about jinxing anybody, but if you watched the show or listened into the show or both, Brian Tolnar and I both picked Jason to win this event. So, knock on wood, he's halfway home as Kokrak is 10 under through 2 rounds of the Charles Schwab Challenge. And boy, oh boy, that is some really good news and potentially some great news for the area. Kokrak has won 1 PGA event. He won it earlier this year, and that was enabling him to go to. No, actually, I think it was last year. Last year he won the tournament. that was in enabling him to go to the Masters this year. So if Kokrak wins a tournament this year, that would mean that he would go to the Masters next year. So I believe Kokrak won last year. Maybe it was this year, early on in the PGA Tour. Maybe it was this year. We're going to have to take a look and see. But Jason has a 2-shot lead in the second round of the Charles Schwab Challenge. So best of luck to Jason, as hopefully he will get himself his second PGA tournament victory as the Warren, Ohio native and Warren JFK grad. It has a 2-shot lead right now in the second round of the PGA stop down in Fort Worth, Texas. So hopefully Kokrak is going to be able to do his thing. All right, yesterday had an opportunity to check out the Scrappers, as I always do, where they do the broadcast for ysnlive.com. By the way, klutz moment for me behind the scenes. You can picture this. So it's about the 5th inning. I want to say it's the top, between the bottom of the 5th and the top of the 6th inning. Klutz moment for yours truly. Now, when it gets a little bit darker, you got to put the lights on in the radio booth. And note to self, I'm going to put the lights on before the game starts so I don't have to try to go back and turn the lights on in between the commercials. To peel the curtain back a little bit, I'm making sure manually that the commercials are running in between innings. So it's kind of difficult to walk around the booth or do anything because you're too busy punching the commercials in. I mean, it's part of the cool thing about doing the broadcast. So while I'm doing that, I punched in a 60-second commercial, thinking, okay, I'm going to have more than enough time to get out of my chair, go to the back of the radio booth, turn on the lights, and come back, and no problem. The only problem was the cord, this little thing here, to my headsets, this little thing here. I tripped over it because it was hanging outside of the chair for whatever strange reason. And I tripped over it, and the entire board came flying out of the desktop and down to the ground. And the computer was good, but the cord was all stretched out. And I'm like, oh, good Lord! And the water that I had, it spilled, and my notes were all flying around, and everything is wet. My scorebook is wet. And I'm cleaning this stuff up, and then I realize, dude, your commercial, it's probably over by now. So you're gently picking some stuff up. Missed the first batter of the 6th inning. But everything else went according to plan. No damage done. The equipment was in good shape. No damage done. Got through the rest of the game. Wet scorebook and all. We dried it off as best as could be. But nothing would stop the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, that's for sure. They got a 4-0 victory over State College last night. Look, I would be saying this if I weren't the play-by-play announcer for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. This team is good. I mean, this team is really, really good. They're impressive. Everything I thought about of the Major League Baseball Draft League, it's coming to fruition. Now, there are some things behind the scenes that I am almost positive are going to get taken care of. Major League Baseball, I don't know if they realized how big of a little situation this was, how big of a job this was going to be. But there's a couple of things that they're going to take care of, and it will get done. It's marketing is one of the big things that needs to happen for this league. I will tell you this. I went to plenty of New York Penn League games when I moved back into the area, and I think I can pretty much tell the difference between good baseball and bad baseball. Lord knows I've seen enough of it. And I understand it's 4 games, and I've seen this team play 2 times. Look, the 2 games that I have seen this team play, there's some good baseball, really good baseball coming out of this Scrappers team. I love the concept of the Major League Baseball Draft League. I envision this to be a league in which guys can find themselves in a situation where they can improve their draft stock. And let me tell you, there are a number of kids that should be grateful right now that this draft league is in existence, the biggest of which is Matthew Valet. Matthew Valet has been leading off the last couple of nights. He is a designated hitter. Now, he can also play in center field. Prior to the start of this, you read the scouting reports on Valet. He's fast, gets on base. He can steal bases. He's a junior college kid. Okay. Big difference between junior college and a league like this. It's competitive baseball. Not to say that JUCO baseball isn't. It is. But this is a different animal. This is a different animal. And I know it's only 4 games. Matthew Valet has an on-base percentage over 600. They played 2 games. In the first game on Wednesday night, he struck out to begin the bottom of the first inning and went on base, whether it was a base hit, a walk, a fielder's choice. He has been on base every plate appearance since the first inning of the home opener. The first inning on Wednesday night. In all the other at-bats, which I believe is now up to 10, he has 10 consecutive plate appearances in which he's been on base. And this kid steals bases like nobody's business. He stole 3 bases in the home opener. And I believe he stole at least 2 bases. And I wish I had the scorebook with me. It's probably drying out up in the radio booth. I believe he has 5 steals in the first 2 games at home. This kid is absolutely incredible. And the fact that he can be a top-of-the-lineup guy and get on base with this much frequency. I think I read a statistic in the junior college that he went to. He was on base in all but 3 or 4 of their games. This kid, it could drive a pitcher to drink with the daring base running that this kid has, and that's the other thing that I'm absolutely enjoying about this team. Coco Crisp, and it bears repeating, 9 days ago, before the team got together, last Wednesday, we had a little get-together with members of the Scrappers fan base. They came to Eastwood Field, and it was an evening with Coco Crisp. And there were a handful of people there, a pretty good handful of people there. And the questions that were asked were really good questions. One of the questions a fan asked was, "Hey Coco, what is your managerial philosophy? What are your goals? What are you going to do with these kids?" And Coco said, "Hey, look, this is a league for the kids. This is a league for the kids to show off their abilities. Some have incredible speed. Some have powerful arms. Our bullpen, you got some power arms in that bullpen, and you got guys throwing some ungodly sliders that are just really, really good." And this is the reason why Major League Baseball decided to do the draft league. Look, I am not a fan of Rob Manfred in any way, shape, or form. I think overall he's done a piss-poor job as the commissioner of Major League Baseball. But if this is his legacy, it's a damn good one. And I understand people are going to sit back and go, well, we lost our New York Penn League affiliate. This is a better brand of baseball than the New York Penn League ever was. This is a better brand of baseball. And it's looking at this is on paper. And again, you got to execute it. But on paper, this is a brilliant idea. And it's a great opportunity for the scouts to now look at a player who isn't swinging an aluminum bat anymore. Now they're swinging a wooden bat, just like they would if they were in the pros. And you're looking at kids that are now playing against some equally good competition. And you pulled these kids, and Prep Baseball Report did a fantastic job with this. And we have not seen the entire litter of the kids that they have invited because, well, some of them are still playing baseball, whether it be high school or college. Now, not to put salt into the wounds of the YSU fans, Colin Floyd will be a scrapper here pretty soon. I didn't necessarily want him to be a scrapper until a couple of weeks from now, but, the fact that YSU got eliminated yesterday, Colin Floyd can be a Mahoning Valley scrapper, and he can show off his skills in the Major League Baseball Draft League and pitch and probably have some pretty good familiarity about the pitcher's mound at Eastwood, given the fact that that's where he played his home games. He'll have some pretty good familiarity there. But like I said, you haven't seen the whole league yet. And that's the thing that excites me even more, is the fact that there are some kids that we haven't seen, the three local kids, the young kid from Champion, Drake Batcho, Colin Floyd. Drake and Colin, they're both eliminated from their conference tournaments. I would anticipate those two to be donning a scrapper's uniform here pretty quickly. Look, this league, it's a pretty fun league. And this Scrappers team is playing some pretty fun baseball. The base running that this team is doing. I saw a sacrifice fly where the ball was not hit all that far into left field. I mean, it was hit into routine can of corn fly ball into left field. And you tag and score on Jalen Jones' sacrifice fly. That was Valet. I mean, Valet pushed the envelope. Look, this kid wasn't that far out of in left field. I mean, it was kind of shallow left field. And Valet said, bring it, because I'm going to be hightailing it home. And this kid can fly. And the throw went up the first base line, and Valet was able to score standing up. This team goes first to third, and I saw, I think it was opening night, the home opener, a base hit into left field, not right field, left field. And the kid on first base went first to third and beat the throw with ease. This team is just daredevil base running, and they're worthy of your entertainment. They're worthy of your dollar to head up to Eastwood Field and check this team out. This I love watching this team play. They're off to a great start. They're the only team left that's undefeated in the draft league. Now that Trenton got beat by Williamsport, both of those teams are 3-1. Scrappers are now 4-0. Preston Salazar last night, 5 scoreless innings. Now, he did have 4 walks, and there are some problems with that. And again, a lot of these kids that are in the draft league, some of the pitchers, they have some really good stuff. Unfortunately, they walk a lot of guys, and that's their bugaboo. And The closer, I think it was opening night, the home opener on Wednesday, not opening night, the home opener. The closer for the Scrappers, he got himself into all kinds of trouble because he had some wildness. But damn if he doesn't throw the ball hard. I mean, he was throwing mid-90s. You don't teach that. You can't just teach someone to throw 95, 96 miles an hour. It's God-given. You're not going to teach this kid that. And you can't teach speed either. And that's the top of the batting order between Valet and Buck Anderson. Both of those kids are improving their draft stock something ridiculous in the first 4 games. And again, the beautiful part of this league is it's giving all of the scouts a golden opportunity to see the game played under professional baseball rules, where the guys are swinging wooden bats and not the god-awful aluminum bats. Nothing irritates me more than hearing ping. That's not baseball. Is baseball, not ping. That's not baseball. That gives me a migraine headache. Can't stand that. If I were the benevolent dictator of baseball, all colleges would get rid of those god-awful aluminum bats and use wood. Shouldn't even, and I would even say borderline high school too, but high school, you use the aluminum bat because a lot of those kids, they'd wind up breaking the bats. But college ball, get rid of those aluminum bats. Get rid of them. Put your hands on a wooden bat, for God's sake. But again, there's a reason why aluminum is made, and there's a case for it, because the wooden bats break and it costs a whole lot of mucho dinero, and you get the point. But this league, you're not putting the aluminum bat in your hand. Now you're going to swing with a wooden bat. Now, way back in the day, when the aluminum bats were the equivalent of the players on steroids in the steroid era, it was different. You guessed. Scouts had to guess, okay, can this player who has this, for lack of a better term, weapon in their hand, can he produce the goods like he can with this souped-up machine called the aluminum bat? Can he produce the goods? This is one of the reasons why, looking at it, and in hindsight's always 20/20. Hell, this thing should have been done years ago. The draft league could have been done years ago. Because now scouts are going to look at this and say, okay, now we have no doubt whatsoever over the next 68 games or however many games are going to be played between now and the draft. We have no doubt whatsoever what these kids are capable of doing with a wooden bat in their hand. And that erases all of the questions that a scout has for the everyday players. For the pitchers, you're taking on the best of the best. You're taking on, in all likelihood, a better product than what you're used to seeing. Unless, of course, you went from a Power 5 conference where you might still be pitching against similar talent. But the Major League Draft League, again, on paper, this is a phenomenal idea. Once they get the bugs worked out of it, and it has nothing to do with the talent, but the information part of it. Once you get those bugs taken care of, and they will be taken care of as soon as possible, oh, dear God, is this league going to be fun. And it already is. And I'm not saying this just because the Scrappers are 4-0. The amount of talent that I have seen the first 2 games of this season, the first 2 home games at Eastwood Field, the amount of talent that I have seen on both teams is absolutely impressive. And this is coming from a person that spent a dozen years in pro ball, guys that do get paid. There are some guys that have played the first 2 games, and again, it's just 2 games, and it can be a hot streak, and then they go into the toilet. You have to be able to consistently do this. But there's a few, more than a handful of guys on the Scrappers team that if I were a scout, I would be zeroing in on. There is some seriously good talent, really good talent, draftable talent on this ball club. And I can only imagine the amount of scouts that are going to be partaking in this and have already partaken in this league. And we're, again, we have not seen the entire product yet, because there are some guys that are still getting finished with their high school responsibilities or their Division I responsibilities. And again, sadly, Colin Floyd's going to be a scrapper a whole lot sooner than I wanted him to be, but he gets an opportunity to improve his draft stock. And I can envision Colin Floyd being pretty damn impressive in the Major League Baseball Draft League. Again, the Scrappers won last night. They shut out State College 4-0. Frederick is in town. Fireworks after the game. Hopefully, knock on wood, fingers crossed, Mother Nature cooperates. The weather, it doesn't look good. Look, I got to be honest, it doesn't look good. Of course, it didn't look good on opening day, and we played baseball because, well, the baseball god, small g, smiled on us. It doesn't look good right now. I looked at the forecast, and a lot of green. But if we're able to play, we will definitely play. And let's be honest, fireworks, hey, who doesn't want to see that? Tell you what, the opening night fireworks, that was a damn good show. Scrappers got the boom booms out, and that was fun. That was a really good fireworks display after opening night, in which the Scrappers knocked off State College in the opener 5-2, and they get a 4-0 victory last night. They have now outscored their opponents, 24-4 in the first 4 games. Oh, by the way, in the 2-game series against State College, Scrappers pitching struck out 30 batters. Now, that has been, not just the Spikes, that has been a league-wide thing. In the first 4 games, pitching has gotten a whole lot better than the hitting. And you can kind of sort of say, okay, kids are getting used to the wooden bat. All right, absolutely, there's a different feel. You feel an aluminum bat, you feel a wooden bat. Using a bat, it's a different feel. Even though the aluminum bats are pretty much dead, it's still a different feel. It's still a different feel. It feels different in your hands. It's a much different bat. And there is that, you got to get used to it type of thing. Okay, I get it. But the pitching has been pretty special. There's a couple of kids, one reliever in particular, the Ayers kid. Oh, my God. I think he has appeared in 2 games, and he's already punched out double digits in, 4 innings. I mean, he's already punched out double digits. That insane how good some of these kids are. It's they're worthy of your entertainment dollar. And I think that's probably the best way to describe it. They are absolutely worthy of your entertainment dollar. So if you are a fan of baseball, you've got to check this product out. It is a fun baseball team, and they're off to a great start. And it's good product. It's a really good product.
4-0, baby.
4-0, and good God, can these kids play? They're daredevils on the bases. I love it.
The pace got a little bit better for you over the past couple nights.
2 games under 3 hours. Beautiful thing. So hopefully we can do it again tonight.
Got some bad news. If you're looking for some Scene Park coverage tonight, all games at Scene have been canceled.
Yeah, so. You took a look at the radar and saw the Fruit Loops colors, and no, it's not a good thing.
It was 14U, which is nothing to sneeze at. We got some great coverage of 14U on the network. But as for tonight, they are chopping all those games, and we are left with nothing but the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. So hopefully that game continues.
Hopefully it happens. Fireworks after the game. And look, get all this stuff out of the way, because we got a regional championship game to to talk about tomorrow afternoon at high noon at the Farmers National Bank facility, and Anthony Hartwig's got to be he's got to be happy.
The old saloon down in
I'm
YSU
telling you,
at high noon, baby.
I'm telling you, you get the gunfight at the OK Corral. Who's going to do it?
What an unbelievable! We actually tapped into the Ursuline game during Power Hour yesterday. So we had the guys talking, and then we had the game up while we were kind of going on, kind of interactive Power Hour. But I'll tell you what, you look at what Ursuline did to their opponent yesterday, and it was almost with ease.
Yeah, they were. Sheffield Brookside was in that game till the national anthem. I mean, Ursuline.
They lost that.
I mean, unbelievable. That team just doesn't quit.
No, and you look at just how good is Bree Kohler for South Range.
She's the heart and soul of that team.
She is a one-woman wrecking ball.
Woof. Yeah.
Two-run home run, right?
Yeah, two-run dinger, and oh, by the way, I'm going to throw a shutout, and then I'm going to drive the team bus back home.
Yeah, and then she made the pizzas for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And get out of the way, Luigi. I got this.
Unbelievable, and just another student athlete that doesn't get near enough. And guess where she's playing next year?
That would be Youngstown State.
That's right.
Yeah. The softball program gets a little bit richer, and oh, by the way, her graduating classmate, Mr. Mikos is headed to YSU as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, YSU and Lane Rhodes, YSU.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Danny Bertolini's sitting there, even though it was a rough go last night.
God.
He's sitting there like this.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. You lose a Colin Floyd. What, 7 seniors he loses?
Yeah, 7 or 8 seniors, but
the recruitment class he's got coming in, my goodness. Ian Francis from Cardinal Mooney.
And oh, by the way, he gets some other kids that get another year under their belt, and
don't count out that transfer portal either.
Some more kids that are going to be coming in from the transfer portal. Some more kids that didn't even play this year because they were redshirted. Look, it's easy to sit back and go, oh, my God, how could you do this? I'm not going to let Thursday ruin what was a good year. It
was 32 wins.
32 wins. You go 24-16 in conference play. I mean, look, Thursday, yeah, it sucked. It was horrible. It was a gut punch. And if I'm a underclassman on that team, I'm pissed. I'm pissed driving all the way back home. I'm pissed the entire off season, and I'm ready to kick somebody's ass in 2022. And if you want to change this, win the league and take the tournament up to Eastwood.
Well, and part of the issue, we talked about this a couple days ago on the Power Hour, is I don't like days that are double elimination and the loser's got to play in the same day. Because if you are having a bad day, you're having a really bad day.
Well, and the other thing, if you're going to lose, you might as well be the 4 seed, or you're either the 1 or the 4. So if you lose that game, okay, at least you got about 3 hours that you can sit back and go, okay, collect our thoughts. It's not a big deal. We can win 4 games in a row and do this. Now, the 2-3 matchup, in the back of my head, I was like, this isn't really a good spot for the loser because you got to go back less than an hour later and play when you're not even over the loss that you just got done finished playing. That's a really bad situation.
Well, and then you add into it, you look at YSU was behind basically the entire game.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to play catch up in game 1. And you have to be very careful of your bullpen because you know you're going to need them in game 2, and you're not going to throw a guy for 2 innings, then he's going to come back and throw that night. I just, you're in a bad situation with that. If you're in a close game, a 1-run game or a tie game for 8 innings, then you're in good because then both teams are utilizing that. I mean, the one kid for UIC went 100 pitches until we finally started hitting them. And then they said, you know what, we got a good enough lead. We feel good about our offense. We're already into the bullpen. Let's make a change here. They had the leverage the entire game. Were they the better team yesterday? Yes. Were they the better team, I think, all season? No.
Well, I mean, they came in on a tear, and we'll see what they can do against Wright State. I mean, look, and that game is supposed to be going on right now. Who knows if they're playing because the weather is just so ridiculous, and maybe it's not that way in Dayton.
I was down in Canton about an hour ago, and it was pouring. So
yeah. I mean, let's punch up the tournament and let's see what's going on if there is anything going on.
Did you catch any of that game yesterday? Like, did you watch it at all?
Yeah,
or listen to it.
I listened when our game was done, and I was giving updates.
Yeah,
and I mean it's the reason why I was giving updates. It's the Colin Floyd factor of, hey, when his season is over, he's going to be a Mahoning Valley scrapper. So we were given updates, and when I went off the air, they were in the ninth inning, and I got to hear Richie call the ninth inning. So that's tough. Wright State's taking on UIC at 2:30 today. So they moved the game. It was supposed to be at noon. They moved it to 2:30. So I can only imagine they're getting some bad weather there. And then the loser of that game, much like Youngstown State did, they don't have much time to think about it. They got to turn around. They got to play Milwaukee. So if you're Milwaukee, whoever won that game yesterday between Milwaukee and YSU was going to be in a great position because they didn't have to play the first game. They didn't have to deal with losing a game, and they loose and ready to go. I would expect Milwaukee to beat Wright State or UIC, whoever loses this game today, especially if it's like a walk-off.
Really?
And you lose a game in an unforeseen way. If you're blown out, okay, maybe not. But if it's a walk-off or an exciting finish, that team's toast.
Wow.
Done. It's I could see Milwaukee beating Wright State or UIC. And let's be honest, it's going to be UIC. Wright State is just ridiculous at this point.
I mean, they didn't look too good yesterday against Milwaukee.
No, and Milwaukee had their chance. Good God, they had the tying run at third base with one out in the ninth inning and couldn't get them home.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
I still think this is anybody's tournament. I just think we had a bad day.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's, I mean, I wish they would have thrown Colin Floyd the first game, but, I understand the logic. You get it. I don't agree with it, but you understand the logic.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Hindsight's 20/20.
Exactly. It's I'm not gonna Thursday. That's not even going to be a blip on the radar in terms of what this team did this year.
No, and listen, this was a team that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. I don't. Time has completely eclipsed me here, but they had 24 losses before they even got a win.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at a team that has 32 wins on the season.
Yep.
Like, tip your cap. And I said it on social media, and I'll say it again. At some point, we've got to get past we're waiting for a winner. We got one. We got a winner. Now we got to back them. We got to show up at Eastwood Field. We got to give them a reason to call Eastwood home, the same as the Scrappers, and we got to back them. When we fly the Y, it needs to mean something. So
agreed. And I'm going to be real curious. Next homestand, the state of Ohio's rules come into play where all tickets are available.
Yeah.
Be real curious
How's the
to
crowd
see.
been?
I mean, you can only sell 2,000 tickets.
Right.
So
has there been 2,000?
I would say there were close to 2,000 on opening night, and I would say, look, Buck Night, and we got to promote this. $1 gets you a general admission ticket. $1 gets you a hot dog. $1 gets you a beer or a soda. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, $5, I'm going to have a GA seat, 2 hot dogs, and 2 beers. Thank you very much. I'm happy, and I get to see baseball. Okay,
all I want
works
is,
for me.
I just thought about this. I actually got the night off. We canceled the games, but now I don't get many of those, Ron, as you know.
Yeah.
So I might make my way out to the Scrappers, take the girls.
I hope and pray that it stops in a like a 2-hour window so we can have some baseball today, because you got to see this team play. I was talking about their leadoff hitter Valet, the home opener. First at bat, he struck out. He has not been off base since. I think he's like 10 straight plate appearances where he's on base. And he's stolen 5 bags in 2 games. It's ridiculous what talent this kid has.
Hey, when you give your keys to a valet, he takes care of your car. You give your keys to this valet, he takes care of your team.
Yeah, I saw some guys from Prep Baseball Report, and they had their monster size video cameras in the press box and doing all kinds of stuff. And I was talking to the guy. I said, around the league, what's it been like? He says, this is every bit what we thought it would be.
Awesome.
That's you look at it and you're like, oh, man, why didn't these guys think of this years ago?
But for a guy that doesn't love sabermetrics openly, like yourself,
I don't. And
does it excite you when you see it like live?
I don't. To me, I don't look at the sabermetrics. I mean, you can do the spin rate, all that other stuff. All right, you guys can have that stuff. Give me a slider that knows what it's doing. Where a pitcher, and I've saw it a few times, at our expense and then at another team's expense. You know the slider's coming. You should know the pitch is coming. And guys, left-handed hitters digging in, and their back foot, the ball's going to go right to the back foot. You know it's going to go to the back foot, and they're still swinging at it because the slider had such fastball-type movement, and then it just at the last minute.
But if you can nerd out, if you will, if you were able to see the numbers,
if you see the numbers, it's pretty impressive.
That's exciting.
I don't know what an average spin rate is.
But that stuff Ron, this is the most beautiful part of what you get to do. You get to learn, right? You get to break all of the molds of you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and you get to say, listen, I can be the guy that embraces this. What
is the average?
I don't know. I will learn with you.
Well, and one of these times when I get one of those guys, I'll say, listen, break this down for me. What is an average spin rate on a slider?
But tell me that wouldn't be an awesome segment on this show.
I think it would be informative.
And that's it.
I think it would be very informative.
Because you can go there as someone who is just a sponge, and you get to learn on the interview with everybody else. I think that'd be genius.
I think it would be very informative to find out, okay, if 2,100 RPMs is the average and somebody cranked out at 2,550, okay, what does that mean?
Oh, boy.
What does that mean? And then you have someone break down and say, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What does that mean for a pitch if it has that many RPMs?
Like, we've talked to PBR before. We want to work together. We're trying to get that kind of shelled out.
Yeah.
Getting somebody on the phone to explain that stuff would be a cinch. And especially if it's promoting the league that they're basically backing, I think that'd be a great addition to this show.
Yeah, hopefully they're there at some point this weekend, and I know I can't believe that they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think someone from PBR is at the 3 locations because there's only 3 locales. So
I know they're actually at games during the day. Like, we were in Louisville the other day, and they were checking out Lane Rhodes, and they had all the stuff going for him. And
interesting.
So, but then that's a 40-minute jaunt back to Eastwood.
Well, yeah, if that. I mean, it's
But I mean, they're everywhere, and it's fantastic because as a baseball guy, this kind of stuff excites me because you get it from football all the time. You talk about the underwear Olympics, you talk about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Football's had that on lock forever.
Yeah. No, it has.
But now it's the sabermetrics, the inner workings of baseball of, listen, you can be a showcase darling, but can you, to your point, can you put it all together with the game on the line, bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th? Can that guy that has the high whip and that guy that has the great exit velo, can you put it all together and make contact?
Well, and look, I mean, for the JUCOs, for the D3s and D2s, and again, I think I'm convinced the reason why they played and started this season this early was because they took advantage of the fact there will be no D3 World Series, nor there will be a D2 World Series, nor is there a JUCO World Series. So you start the season in late May, let these kids have an opportunity to play, sprinkle in some D1 kids whose season is already done. And like I said, we haven't seen the finished product yet because the finished product is still out there finishing their college and their high school seasons. So we haven't seen everybody yet. But what I've seen from the guys that are playing, and albeit 4 games, if I'm a scout, I'm putting someone on Mr. Valet, and I'm putting someone on Mr. Ayers, the reliever who has double-digit strikeouts and 4 innings of work.
Yeah.
And I'm putting someone on some of the starters. I'm putting someone on Buck Anderson. There is so much talent on this team. It is amazing to me that this team is playing just loose, and
but you know
they get to have fun with this.
You know the other side of this coin. We've talked about this whenever they announced this. Your team could be really good.
Yeah.
And then the draft happens, and then
we'll find out. And this is where Major League Baseball has to basically say, look, you guys have to keep whoever you draft in this league.
I think you're gonna have a hard time with that.
And either that or we end the league
in June,
the week after or 2 weeks after the draft.
Oh,
now, having said that, you can't do that either.
No, because you're going to have 32 games.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be a waste of time. I think next year when with COVID being kicked to the curb once and for all, and you have a D3 and you have a D2 and you have a JUCO World Series, you're not going to start this until probably the first or second week of June. Okay. You kick Mondays.
Is that for sure?
I would hope. I mean, there's no way that you could start this season and have legitimate prospects playing.
They are now.
Yeah, because there's no D3, D2, or JUCO World Series. You got all of these kids and have invited all of these kids. I can't imagine you'd be able to do it now. So if you start the season on June the 1st, okay. If you start the season on June the 1st, you can still play a 68-game season, and I did this using the calendar for 2022. You can still play a 68-game season with Mondays off and still avoid the two things that the Scrappers are more than happy to avoid, and that's high school football and the Canfield Fair. It's pretty accurate to say that the Mahoning Valley Scrappers are a distant third to the Canfield Fair and high school football when it comes to the entertainment dollar. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Those two entities are the very fabric of the Mahoning Valley in late summer, early fall. You cannot go anywhere near holding an event. You cannot go anywhere near the Canfield Fair or high school football, or you will get absolutely murdered in your sleep. It's not a good call.
Yeah.
But if you can get a season like this season, where the season is a drop dead a date of mid-August, because there won't be any playoffs, because minor league baseball is not even doing playoffs this year thanks to COVID. You have a drop dead date, and it's 2 weeks before football season starts. Perfect.
Well, that was my next question. Do you know if they're looking to have playoffs?
Oh, they will be. Okay. No, absolutely there will be.
There's 6 teams?
It would probably be the top 2 teams in a best-of-3 tournament.
Are they looking to add more teams or no?
I don't know. I mean, in a perfect world, I think this is where it should be.
6 teams.
Six teams. Now, personally, and again, I don't like things unbalanced. I think we're playing West Virginia and State College way too many times. Give me balance. Give me...
What are they doing that for, the travel?
Yeah. Expand this out to 70 games and give me 14 or 15 teams. No, actually, it would be 4. So you got to go. You got to go 17 games each. 4 teams, 17 games each. Give me Trenton, Fredericks. No, it's 5 teams. Never mind. What am I thinking? 5 teams divided by 70 would be 14. Give me 14 games against Trenton, 14 games against Williamsport, 14 against State College, 14 against Fredericksburg, and 14 against West Virginia, and let's go. Instead, I think we got Trenton for 8 games this year, Frederick for 8, Williamsport for, I don't know. I'd have to have a schedule in front of me, but I know that we go to Trenton once. Trenton comes to our place once. Give me the balanced schedule. I mean,
and it might be a thing where like next year we play Trenton more than we play, Well,
I think it's a geographical thing. I mean, Youngstown and Morgantown are 3 hours away.
Yeah.
It's
save a couple bucks on travel.
Youngstown and State College are 3 hours away. Save a couple of bucks, and you don't have to use the bus mileage to go places. But I would contend, hey, if they're going to be in professional baseball, give them the full money, because I got news for you. You're not going to just do 3-hour bus rides and for most of the year, especially if you're in a league that isn't geographically friendly.
I still think we're in the jab process.
Absolutely. There's going to be changes in this league.
We're feeling this out, right? We're sitting there and we're just kind of feeling out where we're at in the process. I think that the haymaker comes later. Playoffs would be phenomenal.
I think there will be playoffs as early as next year.
I don't think that it's just a championship like best of 3 series with the top 2. I think you have to the bottom 2 eliminated, maybe, one of those things, or
it could be.
And then you got 4 teams at least, so that way you at least have like a conference and then a championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see what they do next year. I would be willing to. I'd be willing to bet that they start the season a whole lot later next year, but still have it in an area where the season ends long before Labor Day.
Yeah, well, that's what you want.
And look,
Jordan will tell you the same thing.
And in a perfect world, Major League Baseball would sit back and say, okay, minor league teams, you're not going to send any of your draft picks to low A ball. I mean, maybe the first round pick, maybe the second round pick, 20 rounds in the draft. You're not going to send the 10th through the 20th picks into low A ball. You're gonna send them back into your spring training home, and you'll have what is known as instructional league after the minor league season is over with. You might as well just keep them in the draft league and let them play. Now, some teams are going to be like, hell no.
Yeah.
We're paying these kids
this is our
now.
Guy.
Yeah, this is our guy. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I can see both sides of that. Now, the other part of it is, okay, let's say that 80% or 70% of the league is drafted, which I think would be unrealistic. I think it's probably going to be around 60. What do you do with the others? Well, you finish out the year with the others because they got something to play for still.
What is it, 1-year contract? Is that what it is?
Well, it's
game to game.
Yeah, it's game to game. I mean, you're not guaranteed anything. If you can't cut the mustard, they can get rid of you anytime they want to. But even though the draft is over, you're still playing for something. You can be signed by a scout.
Yeah.
So it's not a obviously the talent level is going to go after the draft if the teams decide, hey, we're going to pull our guys that we drafted. Now, if they don't, hey, all right, that's fantastic. But if they decide to, you're still going to have guys that are going to be playing for something because there will be some scouts around saying, hey, look, we didn't draft you, but we're still interested in you. Here's $20,000. Come with us, and we can sign you after this year is over.
Well, I just came in here to say great job. And, of course, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you in person tonight at Eastwood, at The Wood, and then obviously Scene Park. Game's canceled tonight. So.
By the way, did you happen to see the Pirates game yesterday?
Okay, I'm going to put this out there. I haven't put it in the universe yet. Here's my thing. That play should have been wiped out completely. Did you see Javi Baez standing on the grass doing safe? There's a picture of him doing this.
Yeah.
He's out of the baseline.
He's out of the baseline. But
he's out because he's out of the baseline, and that run doesn't count.
Here's just the thing that just...
Step on the bag.
Thank you.
Step on the bag.
Thank you. And what is Craig thinking? You have a ground ball hit right to you. Okay, Baez does what everyone loves to do, and that's try to bait a first baseman into doing something stupid. So he stops, and he starts running backwards. And it's kind of funny to look at, okay, but if you're the first baseman and there's 2 outs, and all you got to do is step on the bag to end the inning, don't play into Javi Baez's games. Turn around, step on the bag, inning over, that's it.
That's a yes. I agree with you 100%. 1A is umpires need to do their job. because there's no way that Javi Baez would have been able to reestablish his 3 foot on each side of the line, standing on the infield grass and going like this. He's out, which means that run doesn't score.
Yeah, exactly.
And all that is just a blooper reel. Okay?
Yeah, well.
The second part that I disagree with, I see where Shelton comes out and says, that's my fault. No. That is a junior league error. Like, Shelton can take as much blame as he wants, and as a leader, you're always going to sit on the sword for whoever.
Oh, right? Sure.
However, that is a stupid mistake and that guy's getting paid. And he is supposed to be a prospect in the Pirate system. Come on, man.
No,
you're at home.
I respect Shelton for what he did because he didn't pile on to the kid. But I'll guarantee you in private, that kid got aired out times 100 because that's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's like, dude, there's 2 outs. Just step on the bag and the inning is over. My God, what are you doing?
Shelton's a great manager. I think he's going to be a really good fit for this Pirate team.
Yeah,
whenever they get some talent. It was a blunder. It was stupid. For people that are bashing the Pirates about it, get a laugh in, because in a couple of years this is going to be a good team.
No, it's going to be a solid team in a couple of years.
But that is a play that is going to haunt Will Craig forever.
Well,
it will.
I mean, it's definitely going to be something that he's going to see on a nightly basis until he starts playing really well.
All these Cleveland fans came out of the woodwork yesterday.
Oh, they got nothing to talk about.
And that's what I said. How does this team in the major leagues?
Yeah.
And my response to that was because they haven't been no-hit twice this year.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, they got nothing. They got no room to talk about either. That's a bad team offensively. And hopefully Reyes gets better soon. Look, I said it a couple of days ago. I'm not pitching to Jose Ramirez. I don't need to. Who's going to beat me? I mean, Harold Ramirez, he's having fun. He's doing a good job, but he isn't Jose Ramirez. Who's the kid they picked up from the Twins? Rosario? He's not even hitting his weight yet. He's not going to beat me. The other Rosario? No.
Why is the offense across Major League Baseball so bad this year?
Because the ball is a little funny this year.
You think?
Look, Ken Rosenthal did a story last week in The Athletic. He didn't mention the team, but a National League team. There's a rookie player, and he got his first hit. And as the tradition is, and anytime a kid gets their first hit in the show, they always get the ball. And unless it's lost forever, but 99 times out of 100, they get the ball. So the kid has the ball, and they're passing the ball around on the bus en route to the hotel. There's strands of glue on this ball. Come on. I mean, it's there's guys that are cheating and you're stick them on their fingers to get the extra grip so they can get the extra RPM, so they can get the extra movement, and they can get the extra outs.
I will never understand why we give the benefit of the doubt to a guy that goes to his job once every 5 days. That's what pisses me off.
Well, look, I said this. I think that Major League Baseball needs to go after the pitchers the same way they went after the steroid guys and say, okay, you want to have some fun here. Here's our rules. You doctor the baseball and you're caught. You're out for a half a year. You do it a second time, you're out for the whole year.
Cheating's cheating, right?
You do it a third time, get your ass out of this league. You're done forever. And the union would just have they would have a field day with that.
So much red tape.
But there's so many pitchers now, and we'll use this. We'll use the same way as we use the steroid era. And I lived through it. There were guys that weren't doing any of this stuff. And we're not talking about the superstars. We're talking about the guys that are trying to live off of this game. They're not anything special, but they're good enough to be Major League Baseball players, and they have to do steroids in order for them to stay in the game, because the guys that are the same caliber of player are doing steroids, and the guys that are clean are getting kicked out of the league. It's the same thing, and it's going to be the same thing when this epidemic gets even worse. Guys that are mediocre but are good enough to be in Major League Baseball, which isn't mediocre, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Guys that are average Major League Baseball players that are putting shit on their fingers to get the foreign substance, to get the extra spin, to get the extra movement, to get the extra outs, they're going to be in the major leagues. And the guys that refuse to cheat are not going to be in the major leagues because they're going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. This has got to stop. Yeah. It just does.
Let's pay some bills and we'll go on and talk about it.
All right, let's take a timeout. We're back with more. And by the way, Jason Kokrak is leading second round of the Charles Schwab Challenge.
What a week for JFK.
Boy, no kidding. All right, we'll take a timeout. Back in the bed. Stick around.
Hi, everyone. This is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
By giving you confidence in your vehicle with the Greenwood Advantage warranty.
By guaranteeing you financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we do whatever it takes to go the extra mile. So, how can we go the extra mile for you?
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well-appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
If you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of new Ford models. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your new Ford. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their new Ford at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Got to give Dana Balish credit for the tweet that he sent out earlier today. Warren JFK, in the big three sports, their football team played for a state championship this year. The boys basketball team won a district championship. And last night at Scene, the boys baseball team won a district championship. Just a great, great year of boys' big three sports athletics for Warren JFK. And now, even though we're halfway home, and again, I got to preface all of this by saying that Jordan Spieth, who led the first round of the tournament, has not teed off yet. He is at 7 under. He is yet to tee off. But right now, as we speak, JFK grad Jason Kokrak has a 2-shot lead in the Charles Schwab Challenge at the Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth.
I mean, history made in JFK. And I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because they're ours, but I feel like since they've come on board at YSN, something special has happened there. This is the first time in school history that they've had district champions in all three major sports.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's I gotta go. I gotta think long and hard about the last time a team was, or last time a program was this successful in one calendar year in the three major sports. The
crazy thing about this, and people know how much I think of this guy, but the common denominator is Cam Hollabaugh. Yeah. He was a member of all three teams. He was a huge contributor on all three teams.
Yep.
He's the only senior on the baseball team.
This is true.
So when you look at this, it's obviously three-team sports, major, but this says a lot about and JFK, as everyone knows, is a smaller school, so it's a lot of the same names across the board, but the one common denominator is old number 9 in your programs and number 1 in your hearts, Cam Hollabaugh.
I was thinking Springfield a few years ago had a similar run in which the boys won or went to the regional finals in football, or went to the state semifinals in football, and the boys basketball team won a district championship. But I'm not sure if the baseball team won a district championship that year, and I can't remember whether they did or not.
Springfield's the only. I don't want to say the only one. The only one that comes to mind, and I'm probably missing a couple, but I mean, you look at them, and they're a powerhouse in all three sports as well. You know, they were upset this year in baseball.
Yeah.
But you look at basketball, they had a nice run. You look at football, obviously they had an unbelievable run, and then baseball, they did it again. But you look at these teams, the smaller teams. Do you feel like smaller teams that are successful in team sports have a better advantage, like in other team sports, because a lot of the same kids are playing and they're familiar?
Well, you got a lot of multi-sport athletes that are doing that, and I think the really good small programs are the ones that are going to feed off what the fall sport just did. Like when Springfield went to a state championship, win, lose, or draw, you get to a state title game, you're doing something, regardless if you win or lose. So the basketball program said, "Oh, okay,
like you figure out how to win.
We have to at least be somewhere close to what these guys did, because if we aren't, we're never going to hear the end of it.
But that's the thing; it's a lot of the same kids.
Yeah,
so
and
it's like they figure out how to win, and they're like, okay, well, we know how to do it here.
Yeah, so let's do it from here.
And it's so much mental.
Yeah, I love, one of the reasons why I love the multi-sport athlete is especially if you're coming from a winning program, you're going to bring that winning mentality onto the next sport.
Right.
And college coaches are finally figuring it out now. The first thing the college coach will always ask is, what are the grades like? And that should be the first thing. The second thing is always going to be a series of 3 questions. What is his home life or her home life like? What is the body language of this person? And the third part of 2A, 2B, and 2C is now, are you a multi-sport athlete? There are coaches that will now sit back and go, you're not a multi-sport athlete, we're putting your file from here down to here.
I disagree with that part. Because if they're a talent in that sport, they're going to be looked at.
But if it comes to, this kid was a multi-sport athlete, this kid only played one sport, they're taking a multi-sport athlete.
In what context?
They're going to take the multi-sport athlete if it comes down to the multi-sport athlete or the single athlete.
I mean, very, very few times are those things apples to apples where you're comparing them. Like, a lot of times one's a pitcher and the other one's an outfielder.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has to be the same. It has to be the same argument.
But I mean, that would be a tough sell for me, because if one kid is exactly what you're looking for but he only plays one sport, as opposed to the other kid is kind of what you're looking for but he plays 3 sports, you're not going to choose the kid that plays 3 sports. You're going to choose a kid that is exactly what you're looking for. Like, you're not going to take a kid that doesn't throw 96 as a lefty just because he doesn't play basketball and football.
Well, of course not. But then again, you're not going to have a choice, because Major League Baseball is going to say, "Ooh, we're going to draft this guy."
Hopefully. I mean, we're going to see in a couple weeks if that's the case. I saw Gavin Bruni rolling around at Louisville the other day.
Okay,
with a cast on.
Can we now say officially which hand was it?
It's his left hand.
Oh, Lord.
And it wasn't on a bunt. Like, we've heard every rumor of Rumorville, what we were told.
All right. So what is the story?
It was he went like this at a pitch inside. It hit off his hand, and it flew over the pitcher's mound, off of his hand. Okay. So think about the contact.
So he busted his hand.
Busted his left hand swinging at a pitch inside.
Okay.
And the word on the street is 2 weeks. I mean, he had a cast on.
Yeah.
And it was all the way. I mean, it was all the way up here.
Yeah, to the forearm. Do you realize the odds of that happening? That's astronomical. To where you're a left-hander and you're digging in and the ball comes in and it gets you on the left. That's,
when you talk about backdoor sliders, that's exactly what that would have been.
Yeah, that's
or a fastball in on the hands. And I mean, it's a freak accident.
It is.
It's a freak accident, and everything. And I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like everything checked out. So he had a lot of interest, I'm sure.
Oh, and I'm sure he's going to get a lot more, but I'm sure there's also going to be some scouts that are going to wonder, okay, let's see what this kid can do in the summer league, and hopefully he has one where he gets an opportunity to reassure everyone by going out on the mound and throwing his normal stuff.
So I'd be more concerned if it was a ligament injury as opposed to a broken hand.
Yeah.
Broken hand, you get those all the time. I say that like they hand them out like candy, but you know what I'm saying. Like, broken bones are healed.
Oh, I think if it were between his hand or a rotator cuff or a blown out elbow, give me the hand any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about broken fingers. You're talking, stuff like that. Like, there you're just talking about grip. That's essentially all you're talking about.
Yeah, he's still going to throw ungodly hard.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's the first time I've seen him like out of baseball clothes and out of his uniform and in civvies, as they call in the military.
Yeah.
Dude is a monster.
He's a big boy.
He is and it's not, I'm not talking big boy like country big. I'm talking big boy like will compete in the weight room big.
Yeah.
So he's a from everything I heard, good character kid. Our paths haven't crossed yet, but it's one of those things where I wish him all the best, because if a kid like that can succeed from an area like ours, get into the draft, high draft pick,
love to
fantastic.
see it. I would love to see it. Part of me would love to see him in a Scrappers uniform doing the draft league, but again,
I just have to imagine that if he wasn't getting drafted already, he'd be on his way to the Mahoning Valley Scrappers.
One would think. I mean, it's up to Prep Baseball Report to invite the player in question. They just can't show up. But
isn't it like I imagine there's a conversation between PBR and I'm sure that some of the scouts and some of the organizations in the major leagues say, okay, we're looking at this guy, get him there, or don't touch him because we're drafting him.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, it's common sense. If you're a first-round draft pick, you don't need to go to this league. You've got nothing to prove. You're going to be a first-round draft pick.
And that's why I feel like
there's no other place for you.
And that's why I feel like Gavin's safe. You know what I mean? I feel like he's in a safe place, because if there were any worry at all, we would be hearing his name rumored. And this isn't a bad thing to be with the Scrappers, but from that standpoint, we've heard him as high as top 15 draft pick.
Yeah, and it just, when I saw the MLB top 150 high school and college, and he wasn't on that list, I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. What am I missing here? If he's not on that list, you're talking top 150. Okay, supplemental picks included in the first 3 rounds, probably about 10 to 15. So you're looking at about 45 picks per round times 3 is 135. Are you telling me that Gavin Bruni is a 5th round pick or below? Because if that's the case, then he's a candidate for this particular.
But we've seen him as high, like I said, as high as a 15th pick in the ones that we've looked at.
Exactly.
So I don't know what could have occurred or what happened. Like, his velocity's gone up.
Yeah,
and
it's not like he's throwing garbage now. I mean,
he's throwing 96.
Yeah, and he's left-handed. Left-handers don't throw 96 miles an hour all that often.
Not
now.
unless they're on the mound for the major leagues.
Well, yeah.
And then you got him. You know what I mean? You mean Aroldis Chapman? I mean, you got he's righty.
He's a lefty.
Is he a lefty? Okay.
He's a lefty.
And then who's is Kimbrel a lefty? He's a righty.
Oh gosh.
I can see him doing the thing.
I think
he's a righty.
I think he's a righty. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you look at that and you just go, like, a kid like that at a 96 mile an hour fastball he's 18.
And he also has a very underappreciated breaking ball. Yeah. So
I want to. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, I would be stunned if he.
There's been 3 kids that have been rumored to be drafted this year locally.
Okay.
And if that happens,
I mean, we're talking about a draft that now I disagree with lowering the draft from 40 rounds to 20 rounds, but you kicked out the short season A ball, so you had to. So now you've knocked it down to 20 rounds. Bruni has to be one of those teams. So if you're going, supplemental rounds are only the first 3 rounds, because it's free agent A class is first round supplemental, free agent B class is second round, free agent C class is third round. So you're probably 10 to 15 supplemental picks in each round. So let's say a maximum of 45 per first 3 rounds, and then 30 after that. What is it, about 645?
Wow.
That's 645. Okay, so if you can get 3 local kids in the top 645, I'd say we did a pretty nice job in this area.
I mean, this is a special class. Let's make no doubt about it. I mean, this is a special class we've been talking about for 4 years, a class that, we've watched, a class that we've, kind of lived, laughed, and cried with. Jake Gehring is still, I mean, South Range winning the district yesterday without Jake.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Can he be drafted?
Yes.
He could be.
Can draft anybody they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know he's been looked at by at least 2 professional teams.
Yep. His commitment with Ohio State is pretty solid, but then again, if you draft him pretty high, now the problem, this wasn't a broken hand for Jake, so that might hurt him a little bit.
He's got some rehab ahead of him, but his spirits are high.
Absolutely.
And I think that the funniest thing about it, and I say funny, with all due respect, is the level of character and leadership that has risen for Jake this season gives him if you know Jake, and I know him well, he is one of the biggest competitors I've ever met in my life. Ever. Like, he will, if you're playing tic-tac-toe, he will scrape your eyes out in order to win at a Red Lobster. So it's one of the things where people know what they're getting with a guy like Jake. There's a level that just some people don't have. There's that extra gear that some people don't have, that guys like Jake, guys like Gavin are blessed with, and they can reach it whenever they want to.
Yeah.
And you hear announcers talking about it all the time. You hear stories about it. These guys that throw no-hitters, perfect games, these guys that go out and pitch Game 7 of the World Series, guys like Tom Brady, these aren't the regular average Joes you meet on the street.
No.
They have a special calling to compete, and no matter where Jake ends up, no matter where Gavin ends up, and some of these class of 2021s end up from around here, these coaches are blessed and highly favored because they're landing some leaders, and we need them. On some of these, my goodness, the shows that we see sometimes. On a baseball field, on a football field, on a basketball court, like the crap that we saw was it last night or a couple nights ago at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Like we need leadership. We need, people can talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant as much as they want, but those guys were leaders. They just had it. And they knew that when they grabbed the mic and say, knock it off, it all stops.
Yeah.
So not that Jake's ever going to grab a mic from anybody, but I think that, when Game 7's on the line, and he's got a ball in his hands, he's a special guy.
I'll be very curious to see where he falls, if he falls into the draft. Colin Floyd is going to get a golden opportunity, and I've been talking a little bit about this. What excites me the most about Colin is the fact that he knows this mound better than anybody. I mean, this is his home games. We're at Eastwood Field. He's going to have a substantial advantage for at least in the beginning because of the fact, hey, this is home. I've pitched in this place for 4 years. I pretty much know this mound area. I should be pretty good. Now, having said that, he's going to be seeing some really good competition when he jumps into the draft league. Drake Batcho, the same thing. They're both going to see some incredibly good competition.
I just want to be there when every single Penguin shows up for his first start and the ovation that Colin Floyd gets. Colin Floyd's a special dude.
He is.
He's another one of those character guys that he just wants to go out and be a guy. You know what I mean? He reminds me a lot of like the old who was that? Madison Bumgarner. Like hunting and fishing and just doing his thing. He's one of those guys. So it's going to be a special moment when he takes the mound. I know that Heather and Jordan are going to do a great job of marketing that because he is the local guy. Come out and see the former YSU Penguin, now Mahoning Valley Scrapper. I mean, they have a great marketing team over there.
They do.
They do a phenomenal job with it.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And I can't wait because that's a when worlds collide kind of stuff for us. Because we do YSU and Mahoning Valley Scrappers now, so we're going to blow that up.
Yeah,
you wouldn't believe.
And there's 2 other kids that were very large members of the Champion Golden Flashes state title run that will probably be coming back to the area to suit up and take part. And Drake had a tough year at Cincinnati. We'll see what he can do. Lord knows the kid can throw the ball. The left-hander, and he throws in the mid-90s. He just has to cut down on the walk rate.
Yep.
Michael Turner from Kent State will, whenever Kent State is eliminated from their conference tournament, he'll be donning a Scrappers uniform, and it'll be fun to see him. It's the teams are they're going to get a little bit more talent when college baseball and high school baseball officially ends, and that's where you see the now entire product. I'm already impressed. We haven't even seen the entire product yet.
Is there a point where they're going to say, like, this is our team? Like, this is it?
I would hope so. I would definitely hope so. And obviously, depending on how many people or how many roster spots are available, there are going to be some guys that will probably be exiting before the end of the season or before the draft. And look, baseball is a cruel sport in that it's age discrimination and it's also talent discrimination. If you don't have the talent in comparison to what you're going up against, sorry,
it'll break you hot, kid.
It will. And if you're old and you can't run with the pups, you're gonna have to do Old Yeller and take you in the backyard and shoot you.
Wow! Spoiler alert, Ron. Spoiler alert. Maybe somebody's out there, they haven't seen that movie yet.
Well, I mean, it's just.
And maybe there's PETA that's going to call us now.
It's a cruel world, but it's a sport that I love it because you have to jump through an amazing amount of hoops to get to where you want to go.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and sometimes those hoops have a little bit of fire on them, and they're a little too high, and you do what you got to do to jump through the hoops. But it's a fun league to this point. I'm impressed. Early on, I'm impressed, and not because the team's 4-0, but because not just the Scrappers. My God, there was a kid on opening night that came from my neck of the woods when I lived in Tennessee. Maybe a 10 or 15 minute drive from Jackson that started and was really impressive for State College. So there's some good talent in this league, not just with the Scrappers. There's some good talent league-wide, and Frederick has some kids that I'm really looking forward to seeing this weekend when they come to town. So hopefully Mother Nature cooperates.
Good luck. Again, thank you very much. It was such a cool moment for me. I was on my way back from the game Wednesday, and I pulled it up. You were on, obviously, with the scoreboard on, and I've been a fan of the Scrappers since they came here, and it was a cool moment for me to see our branding, to hear your voice, and to know that we're a small part of what they're doing. So it was a dream come true. There's a few moments in what we do that you kind of get to stand back and take it in, and I made sure that Wednesday night I did that because it's been a lot of work. We're still not done, obviously, with what we're trying to do, but the Scrappers was always on our radar. Like, imagine if we can do that one day, and everything just kind of came together.
It was cool. It was cool how that happened, and I know there's some people that are still a little disappointed that you're not an Indians affiliate, and there's actually some people that are still wondering, hey, when are these guys getting called up from Cleveland?
They're not.
No, they're not. I mean, unless they get drafted by the Indians. Well, what do you mean? Well, they're not an Indians affiliate anymore.
Now the Indians have to be a little smarter and draft our guys.
Yeah. So as I've said, the beautiful part of this is you don't know who you're cheering for yet.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool because you don't know. There's more than one path to stardom now.
Exactly.
There's 30 paths.
Exactly.
And when you get an autograph from these guys, hang on to it.
Yeah. And the jersey auctions now are going to have a little bit more
meaning.
A little bit more meaning. Not that they didn't have meaning before, because obviously you knew who the really good players were that were going to be going a little further up the ladder. This one, there's a more than a handful of kids that I think have through the first 4 games, and they're going to have to continue doing this. But through the first 4 games, there's a handful of kids on this team and a boatload of kids that have improved their stock and have basically said, hey, baseball world, take a look at me because this is the kind of game that I got. And that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to as we go through the season. We'll take another timeout, be back in a bit. Stick around. It's a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. On the network tonight, all of the B-League games have been canceled at Bobsine Park. The impending weather that, it has already started, unfortunately. So we will, the only game in town tonight, as of right now, are the Scrappers, as Mahoning Valley will be starting a 3-game series against Frederick. That is a 7:05 game tonight. We'll be on the air at about 6:50 with a pregame show. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather will cooperate and we'll get this one in. Fireworks after the ball game tonight at 7:05. And then tomorrow night, the Superstars make an appearance. Hard to describe what the Superstars are. It's a I can't even describe it. But it's a really cool product. I can't describe it, but it's a really cool product and something that I'm certainly hoping that everyone is going to have an opportunity to see. And I'm actually looking at the future radar. The bad weather gets out of the area at about 6 o'clock tonight, and it would appear there is about a 2-hour window of good weather, or at least no rain. Now, this is the future radar, and obviously nobody can read into the future, but there is the possibility that we could be playing some baseball at Eastwood tonight. 7:05 game, fireworks after the game. Frederick is in town, first of a 3-game series with the Frederick Keys. And we'll see what transpires as the Scrappers are off to a 4-0 start. They look for their 5th consecutive win on tonight on Friday night as they take on the Frederick Keys in the first of a 3-game series. Again, fireworks after the game tonight. Tomorrow night, the Superstars make an appearance. That's a 7:05 game. And then on Sunday, it's a 4:05 matchup. Final game of the series, final game of the homestand. Frederick in town. Every day matters. This is a really cool, really cool thing that the Scrappers do every Sunday. So here's the deal. If you bring in a couple of canned goods or one new children's book, you will get a free general admission ticket to the 4:05 game on Sunday. And by the way, 4:05 on Sunday. The PA system in between innings will be playing nothing but 1960s music. Groovy, baby. That should be an awful lot of fun. So check it out. We'll close up this Friday edition of Running Point after this final timeout on ysnlive.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
This is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your pre-owned vehicle and much more. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their pre-owned vehicle at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Tri-State Ford announces our 96-hour Memorial Day sales event. 4 days of huge savings on every vehicle. Get top dollar for your trade or sell us yours. Attention, current lessees of all makes and models. Turn in your lease early and get up to $2,500 trade equity. Plus, our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Don't miss this event.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to the Friday edition of Running Point as we close up shop on this Friday afternoon. Just a reminder, the Scrappers in action tonight against the Frederick Keys. There is about a 2-hour window of somewhat decent weather. Perhaps the Scrappers can get this thing in tonight against Frederick. It is a 7:05 start, fireworks after the game. Hope to see you there. Power Hour is coming up next. Have a great weekend. We will talk on Tuesday. Monday's Memorial Day. So I encourage everyone, being that Monday is Memorial Day, get yourself out to a Memorial Day service and honor those that have kept this country free. Honor the soldiers that are no longer with us. That's who we celebrate on Memorial Day. The soldiers who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, whether it be on the battlefield or after their service. Those that are no longer with us, we pay respect to them on Memorial Day. Those are the men and women that have kept this country where it is today. So honor those men and women by going to a Memorial Day service on Monday. We'll talk Tuesday on Running Points, noon to 3 on ysnlive.com. Power Hours coming up next.